Everybody, Professor Doom here, and I stumbled across some pretty wild, interesting information that is going to go one step closer for everybody who is making the case that Maui was started with a direct energy weapon. So before I show you the interesting stuff that I found, and I hope that you guys will stick around for the entirety of this video, is I put up a video up on my backup channel, Rebel Space Yes 23. And we need to listen to a piece from that video again because it's going to correlate with the information that I found. So let's listen to Mr. Mark Esper admit that indeed we do have DEW platforms in space, and he doesn't so much admit it, but he does say that China and Russia is doing it, and it's taking away from our military advantage. So we could take that to mean that him saying we had that and now China and Russia are taking away from the advantage that we had. Does everybody get that? And then we're going to listen to something that Dutch Sense found, and it's going to tie in to what I found. Let's check it out.
Defense Secretary Mark Esper announced that China and Russia have already weaponized satellites with directed energy weapons.
Meanwhile, in space, Moscow and Beijing have turned a once peaceful arena into a warfighting domain. They have weaponized space through killer satellites, directed energy weapons, and more, in an effort to exploit our systems and chip away at our military advantage.
And for the past few years, many have wondered if these advanced weapon systems have anything to do with the unprecedented fires we have seen in the past few years. Laser-based weapons are able to destroy the target with external heat, and microwave weapons are designed to penetrate the target through external antennas and sensors and ignite internal electronics, destroying them from the inside out. This could explain how thousands of homes have rapidly burned into their own footprint while the trees surrounding them survive. And it could explain several cars we have seen utterly destroyed with temperatures hot enough to liquefy glass and metal. Michael Janet, host of the YouTube Dutch Sense channel, has been researching the Earth's seismic activity for the past 10 years. During the past few weeks, he has discovered satellite imagery that show an equal distance spread of fires, all starting within the same 4 hours.
4 hours? We've got ourselves an equal distance spread of fires. Here, and here. So, what could cause an equal distance spread of fire? Well, only two things. Mother Nature or man, right? There's no storm in the area. You can't blame a storm. So, what could cause equal distance spaced fires to spread out across? What do you think? 1/3 of I don't know.
And he also discovered what looks to be a beam of light that can be seen in the infrared spectrum, like a microwave. On September 8th, a beam of light can be seen.
Now, I want you to pay close attention. What was just said there is that a beam of light was detected in the infrared spectrum. Okay? Remember that. Let's continue.
Directed to the Dolan Fire of California. The beam appears to excite the heat signature of the fire as it is held on target for over 2 hours.
Right before dawn. Watch that. This is yesterday, going into this morning. This is in California. The beam coming from space, up above Oregon, or somewhere in between this and Oregon. And as it's going through, see how it excites? As the beam is spreading, look how it excites. It's no doubt about it. And the beam spreads first. Look, beam spreads first. Goes from a tiny little tight beam to a wide beam, and the fire spreads to a wide fire.
The next day, a beam of light is seen directed at and exciting the heat signature of the Holiday Farm Fire in Oregon for over an hour.
Here here it is now, and it's two of them. And it's only going to one fire, a different fire. And it's moving. Okay, and it's moving. There's clouds going through it, which rules out being an artifact. The clouds are passing through and interfering with the beam. Wow. Space. Moscow has turned a once useful arena into a warfighting.
Okay. So, do you got that memorized, that these beams of light were detected in the infrared spectrum? And as you could see it for yourself, and these beams of light were being directed right at the locations where the fires were starting off and going off. Now, what's interesting is that there's cases being made for the Maui fire being started by a electrical power line. So my question then becomes this: is the possibility there that a DEW was used to spark off the power line? just hypotheticals here, just asking questions. Is it possible that the DEW was used to even spark that off, making it go off, and then we would only assume that that was the catalyst that got it started, and it was actually beams of light that were being used to destroy it all? Well, again, if we look at the totality of the whole incident, about the fire hydrants being turned off, about the sirens not being sounded off, about you have officials that refuse to talk about the missing children. You have blockaded streets by the police chief. Now, let's take a look at what I found, and you're going to find this very, very interesting. So there's an article dated here from just August 18th. But this article is about an event that took place August 1st. What happened? Cyber attack shutters major NSF-funded telescopes for more than 2 weeks. More than 2 weeks. And it started off August 1st. That would put this well beyond the August 8th Maui fire start date, correct? Okay. Operations at the Gemini North Telescope located on Mauna Kea in Hawaii were shut down after a cyber incident was reported on August 1st. Okay. So read the article with me, because it's very important that you do so. A mysterious cyber incident in National Science Foundation Center coordinating international astronomy efforts has knocked out of commission major telescopes in Hawaii and Chile since the beginning of August. Officials have halted all operations at 10 different telescopes. And at a few others, only in-person observations can be conducted. With no clear resolution to the shutdown in sight, research teams are uniting to figure out alternatives. Okay, let's keep on going. So some groups may rush to graduate students to Chile. Let's go down here. So we have the August 1st, whatever happened may have placed the instruments in physical jeopardy. In response to the incident, these NOR lab, does anybody know what the IR or the NO stands for in the NOIR lab? Well, the O stands for optical and the IR stands for infrared. Okay, and so this is talking about infrared observatory. Powered down all operations at the International Gemini Observatory, which runs the Hilo telescope, and its twin, Gemini South, on Cerro Pachon Mountain in Chile. The latter was already offline for a planned outage. Okay. So how do we know that the NOIR LABs are, in fact, optical, infrared, telescope observatories. Well, I'm going to prove it to you. So just a reminder coming back up here that this NOIR LAB telescope is located in on Mauna Kea in Hawaii, right? Got that? Okay, let's come here. NASA's infrared telescope facility atop Mauna Kea, Hawaii. Gemini South, right? And it was atop where? That's right, Sierra Pachon in Chile. The International Gemini Observatory consists of twin 8.1 meter diameter optical infrared telescopes located on two of the best observing sites on the planet. The Gemini South Telescope is located on a mountain in the Chilean Andes. So the two most optimal locations for using infrared telescopes are where? That's right, Mauna Kea in Hawaii and the Chilean Andes, the Sierra Pachon. Wait a minute. Didn't just Dutch Sint make a discovery of a direct energy weapon directed at fires, and he was able to detect it using infrared spectrum? Is the reason why there was a cyber attack on these telescopes August 1st and shut them down well beyond the August 8th Maui fire is to prevent them from detecting DEW lasers being fired from space? Is that a possibility? It tells you right here. The most optimal places, Gemini South and the other one, Gemini North, the most two optimal places to use the infrared telescope is Mauna Kea and in the Chilean Andes Mountains. Wow. There is only very, very few infrared telescopes on this planet. The James Webb happens to be up there in space, they claim. You have another one. I'm going to show you. Okay? Here's the list of James Webb. Okay, where is it? Site, space. The Vista, which is in Chile, that's the one we're talking about. That's called the Gemini South. United Kingdom Infrared, which is Mauna Kea. Herschel Space Observatory, which is up there in space. Infrared Telescope Facility, another one, Mauna Kea. And those, all of the ones in Mauna Kea, there's several telescopes that were shut down by cyber attack. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just two. It was 10. And these are ones that had infrared capabilities. Why do you think that they would want to shut down infrared capable telescopes just before the Maui fire? What possible reason could there be? Here's another infrared, of course, here, Mauna Kea. Got it? We already talked about that. We talked about the Sophia is somewhere in the stratosphere, they say. The Hubble Space Telescope, we know where that's at. And you have one other, only one other. And that is the Wyoming Infrared Observatory, which belongs to the University of Wyoming and most likely would not even been being used. I can't find any information whether it was there was a cyber attack leveled on that observatory, but it is owned and operated by the university itself. Is school out? Is that reason why it didn't have to be cyber attacked? Is possibly because of the hours that this was done in Maui, that they would not be required to cyber attack this particular one. But if you put this together in a totality, I'm sure I don't have to keep repeating myself to everybody to understand that telescopes that operate in the infrared spectrum were cyber attacked August 1st and remained shut down beyond the August 8th Maui fire date. Okay? What is it that is able to detect DEWs coming from space? Well, just exactly what Dutch Sense discovered through infrared. And he detected it coming from space. Well, wouldn't it be interesting if Dutch Sense is possibly reporting on finding DEWs being used at Maui? I don't know. Well, I think I'm going to have to start subbing to him and find out exactly what it is he may have uncovered, because he already uncovered one instance. Well, actually, I do believe there was multiple instances that he discovered through the use of the infrared spectrum. Well, there you go, everybody. I do find that very interesting, and I hope you found it very interesting as well. And I'll remind everybody that I do have backup channels: Professor Space Doom in the number 2, and Rebel Space Yes in the number 23. And you can also find me on Rumble, Professor Doom, capital I, capital I. That's Professor Space Doom, capital I, capital I. Anyway, thanks, everybody.